Hello. I I guess it's working now, right? It's supposed to be working. Let me know. It's supposed to be working. That was tough. Try to make it work. Jeez. It's supposed to be working. Let me know in the comment if you can hear me. That was like okay. So it's supposed to be working now. Hello. Let me see. Let me see if it's working now. Hello? 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 Yeah. It's working now. Can you hear me? Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm not like tech savvy. Like, yeah, technology is not like my forte. But frankly, you just have to bear with me when I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So we are live now. We are going to talk about the latest immigration news. Yeah, we are live now. Sorry about that, because first of all, it wasn't working, so I had to just try to fix it. But we are live now, okay? If you can hear me, please let me know in the comment. We're gonna talk about the latest immigration news, what's going on. If you have questions, just put it in the comment section so we can answer your questions as well. I'm sorry about that because it's just like it's technology. I'm not like a technology and yeah, I have to like just try my best. So, but now it's working. Let's get right into it. What's going on? We're talking about the latest immigration news. The first news is that about the birthright citizenship. The Supreme Court will hear argument on May 15. Okay, next month. All argument will be made, and then we're gonna wait for the Supreme Court to decide once and for everybody. Okay, so that's the first news. What else we have here going on? Let's see. We have a lot going on, but I just want to keep my focus on what's important to us because there's always something going on. Always something going on. Let's see if I can pull the page. Always something is going on. Yeah, the Supreme Court says volunteer departure deadline do not include weekends or holidays. In other words, if somebody has decided to voluntarily depart, like they want to go on their own, so you have to do it within the time they allow you to do. So within 30 days, but excluding the weekends. So basically business days, I guess. That's the, yeah. National and international art and certification documented in question. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the news that's going on. Yeah, you can hear me now, right? So please put your question in the comment section. We had to start over, but we're here now. So just put your questions in the comment section. Yeah. So we all, what do we have here? I'm just trying to figure out if I have to talk about all the news or just the most important one. So that's why I'm trying to figure out here. Yeah, we got 5 people in the house. If you have a question, just please put it in the comment. We're just here to answer some questions. We started this live session, then got interrupted because of, technology. So I had to start over. Now I guess it's working. Yeah, now it's working. So you just, yeah, or maybe I should just make a small video and see. If you don't have question, I'm just gonna have to stop and make a small, like a short video. Congratulations. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. So, what is the big latest immigration news? The first one, the biggest one, is that again, I'm gonna just say it one more time. The Supreme Court is going to be hearing arguments on birthright citizenship on May 15th. Okay, both sides will make arguments, then the Supreme Court will decide. I don't think they'll decide the same day. Yeah, the May 15th is when they make oral argument, and then the Supreme Court is gonna think about it, then come up with a decision. Usually, their decision comes in June, in terms of major decisions. Okay, so then we're gonna wait and see what they're going to say. That's the biggest news. And the other news is that the court, I believe in Florida, they suspended the Alien Enemy Act, where they were trying to deport people. The bus was already going to the airport, and then the judge ruled, so the bus had to turn back. That's good, right? So, because remember the Alien Enemy Act, the Supreme Court stated that you have to give people proper notice of their hearing. You can't just ship people like that. So that's another news. Um, yeah, let me just share my screen and see. Um, yeah, let's see if we have something else. And there's something big about volunteer departure. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to it. Let me see if I have something else. Okay, in terms of news. Okay. Okay. So the first news here, we have the Supreme Court ruled on Tuesday that individuals with self-deportation deadline that falls on a weekend or federal holiday may move to reopen their removal cases the following business day. Um, in other words, they are not counting weekends and holidays. Okay. Let me just share my screen so you can see. Yeah, let me just share my screen so you can see. Okay. Meanwhile, if you have a question, please put it in the comment, because we started this live session because of technology. I couldn't hear, people couldn't hear me. Now I guess they can hear me. Can you hear me, by the way? I don't want to be just talking. Rory, can you hear me, by the way? Let me know if you can hear me in the comment section. Please let me know, because I don't want to just be talking, and nobody's hearing. Good morning, Sam. How are you? Can you hear me? Because this last session we had to start it. Oh, okay, thanks. Because I had to start it like 4 times. I guess we had a lot of people here. They just left. So yeah, but anyway, so let me just share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh yes, okay, thanks. Hello, Bijoux. Hi, how are you? Okay, let me share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, this is for yeah, the Supreme Court says voluntary departure deadlines do not include weekends or holidays. Okay, this is a case of Velasquez versus Bondi. The Supreme Court clarified that the 60-day voluntary departure deadline in immigration proceedings does not include weekends or holiday. Okay, so I guess this person took voluntary departure, and now I guess they didn't want to leave. They wanted to reopen their case, and then the court denied their motion to reopen based on the fact that you were supposed to leave already. And then the person appealed, and then the Supreme Court ruled that the person still had option to reopen because holidays and weekends are excluded when you're counting the days that the person has to depart. Okay. The government initiated removal proceeding against the petitioner, who asked the government to suspend its removal efforts or alternatively to permit him to leave the United States voluntarily. The immigration judge concluded that the petitioner was removable, but granted him an opportunity to voluntarily depart within 60 days. Okay. After the BRA rejected his appeal, it granted a petitioner a new 60-day voluntary departure period. Yeah, so basically, I guess I have to recap. They went to court. He was found removable. However, the judge gave him the option to depart within 60 days. Then that person appealed. The BIA too rejected the appeal and granted him a 60-day volunteer departure. And then the 60 days was on Saturday. Okay, and the petitioner filed a motion to reopen proceeding on Monday, December 13. The BIA rejected that motion, concluded that it has already expired. So, and then that it was too late. The petitioner went to seek judicial review in the 10th Circuit, and then the 10th Circuit agreed with the BIA. But then the petitioner went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court reversed the BIA and the 10th Circuit decision and remanded the case back. So basically, that person had the right to reopen the case because the 60 days fall on a weekend. So the person had the right to reopen the case on Monday. So in other words, the person was still within the deadline to reopen their case, like to file a motion to reopen. So that's the ruling. So yeah, I guess you get it, right? Basically, in short, it's basically this, right? If you've been granted voluntary departure and you wanted to file a motion to reopen. However, if you filed that motion, let's say your deadline to leave was on a Sunday, and then you filed the motion on Monday, you still can file the motion. It's still timely because the weekend doesn't count. Basically, that's what it is. In conclusion, that's the decision. Okay, so that's the first news. That's actually the second. What else we have here? Yeah, that's the second news. Then we have, let me go back. Yeah, the judge in Georgia orders DHS to restore international legal status. Remember that they're canceling international students their status, and then some of them sue the Department of Homeland Security, and then the judge ordered the DHS to restore their status, which is good. That happened in Georgia, okay? What else we have here? And this is Florida. I believe the Supreme Court, no, that's actually the U.S., the United States Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court on Saturday ordered Trump administration to halt removal, okay, under the Alien Enemies Act until further notice. So, yeah, which is good too, right? So some in summary, some of those lawsuits are getting some type of success, at least at this moment. But some of them too, they're not really succeeding. So it's just a matter of fighting. If a person has the right, they still have the right to fight. That's what it is under this administration. Let's see. That's about it, right? As far as big news. Okay, let's see. Who has a question? Let's answer questions now. How long it takes to receive employment authorization card after receiving the C notice for asylum? Okay. Well, first of all, you have to wait for 6 months before you actually apply for asylum, for the work permit under asylum, right? First time applying for work permit under asylum, you wait for the 6 months. Usually I just wait 6 months, but it says 150 days. And then when you file for your application, the application has to be pending for 30 days prior to them giving you a response. In other words, if you actually waited for the 180 days before applying for work permit, you have to wait for that one first. And then when you apply for work permit, the first time you have to get it within 10 days. 30 days. I wish it was 10 days, 30 days. So yeah, that's what it is. Anybody else? Yeah, we're just here to answer questions. We are just here to answer questions. Yeah, please just if you have a question, If you have a question, please put it. Yeah, if you have a question, please put it in the comment. We don't have a lot of things to be talking about besides questions, besides answering questions. Yeah, if you have a question, put in a comment. If you don't have a question, we can just like stop here. It's the case of Kilmar Garcia making jurisprudence. Is this case changing the immigration law? It's gonna depend on the decision, right? Kilmar Garcia. It's gonna depend on a lot of things. Yeah, so it's gonna depend on. I'm not sure how I'm gonna answer this question because the Supreme Court basically decided that they should bring this guy home, right? The government should facilitate the return of this guy home. And now the question becomes, does the government have the power to bring the person who's not under their jurisdiction? That's where we stand. So we're gonna see how it's gonna play out. And people have to be just putting a lot of pressure to this government, because if we don't do that, then it's just gonna be the next thing you know, they can deport anybody there. All right. So let's just see how the development of how it's gonna play out in terms of if he really gonna come back, because the ruling is that the government has to facilitate his return. So, but he's still not back yet, right? How long the BIA take? Oh, BIA will take as long as they want. They take those appeals, they take forever. Yeah. If your work permit is based on asylum, um, and if let's say you appeal within those 30 days, then yes, you can still renew your work permit because the case is still pending, right? The way it works is that you file for asylum, you get your work permit, uh, asylum doesn't get granted, you're referred to court. That's a normal case, right? You refer to court, you get denied asylum, and you file for appeal within the 30 days. If you file for appeal within the 30 days and your work permit expires, meanwhile the appeal is pending, yes, the answer is simple. You can renew your work permit. But if you did not file within the 30 days, then you have no way of renewing the If you don't file within the 30 days, then you have no way of renewing that work permit. Speeding ticket, if you didn't pay, I don't think it warrants detention. Mandatory detention is for theft related crimes, okay? Like shop, um, especially if we're talking about this new rule, the Lake and Riley Act. We have theft related crimes such as robbery, shoplifting, even non-violent theft crime like shoplifting, um, anything that has to do with theft. Yes, it's mandatory detention, but speed ticket, usually when a person's a speed, they just give them the fine. Unless the person is driving under the influence of alcohol, that's another story, right? That's a DUI, you go to jail or whatever. But a ticket, you pay the fine. So if you, my understanding is that if you already paid the fine, why would you go to detention? You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think so, John. I don't think so. People are really being detained for serious crimes, for actual crime, not for ticket, because the ticket is a violation, of course, but you can pay a fine for it, right? So if Garcia comes back, it is game over for the new government immigration policy. If Garcia comes back, it is good. It is good that, which means that if a person um, has been deported by mistake, they can still fight and they can still return because that's the law, right? The government is respecting the law. But if Garcia doesn't come back, then it's like it's bad for everybody, for anybody, basically. So, yeah, to answer your question, yes, we really want Garcia to come back, but is he going to be alive? That's the problem because a lot is at stake with this Garcia case. We don't know what's going to happen. We wish Garcia comes back, but Garcia is not under U.S. territory anymore. He's not under U.S. jurisdiction. I don't know what's going to happen. So, but if people are going in the street, they're doing like those protests. I mean, not everybody, because if you're not U.S. citizen, don't go in the streets to protest because they're arresting people and deporting them based on protesting. If the U.S. citizens are going the streets to protest, putting a lot of pressure, then yes, Garcia may come back. Good morning. I have a question. Is it true that USCIS is using minor crime to deport green card holders? And if I'll be safe to apply for citizenship? You have to know what type of crime. What type of crimes? Yeah, if the crime was already waived and has been more than 5 years and it's not aggravated felony, I don't think the person's gonna be deported because they already gave the person the green card. So yeah, it's gonna depend on what type of crimes. I filed on time, almost 2 years now, and I have some new evidence. You file on time and you have new evidence. Yeah, now we have new evidence. Okay. Then you have to file a motion to accept late filing of evidence. You need to talk to your lawyer about that, if what he's going to do in order to submit those new evidence. Because usually when we're at the immigration court, we have evidence to submit late. You have to file a motion for the court to accept late filing of evidence. So, yeah, you need to talk to your lawyer. 3 years, yeah, it takes forever with BIA. It really does take forever. I mean, I usually tell people if you file with BIA, just forget it. Someday they're gonna respond to you. Eventually, they will respond to you. That there's no doubt about it. You will get your response. When, that I do not know. Eventually they'll respond to you, but when, I don't know. And quite frankly, nobody can tell you exactly when they can respond to you. With BIA, who's calling me at this time? We are live. Then to wait for the live session to be over. Okay, anybody else? We're just answering questions here. Yeah, if you have a question, please put it in the comment. They can if they want, but there's a procedure of filing late evidence. I mean, of late filing of evidence. There's a motion that you have to file. Yeah, you need to talk to your lawyer so that they can do it. And then up to BIA to either accept or not accept. You can always try, right? Always try. Prima facie expired last week. I haven't received a new one. Yeah, you need to contact them. You need to contact USCIS in writing. For VAWA, it's always in writing. On the phone, they're not going to tell you anything. But most of the time, they might send it late. But if you wait for a full, like let's say you wait for 30 days, you don't see a new one, then you need to contact them in writing. You just have to contact them in writing. Because they're not gonna, on their own, do anything if you don't contact them. They usually don't really like, I mean, I wouldn't say they don't care, but it's just like they have a lot of cases. Sometimes they, and you know that they fired a lot of people. So sometimes you think, yeah, you'll be waiting for them to respond because they hire a lot, they fire a lot of people. They don't really have Is it is your case here in Baltimore? Do you know the name of the judge? Because if you go to the Judge John, you will never receive this response for 4 years. You wait for 4 years. Is your case here in Baltimore? Most of the general rule is that they should be deciding within 30 days. But sometimes the judge will reserve the right to yes, in Baltimore. Uh, yeah. Do you know the name of the judge? Yeah. So the general rule has, oh, okay, I don't know about this judge, but anyway, the general rule is that within 30 days you should get your response. But some judges, what they'll do when it comes to cancellation of removal, they look in the system and see the number of visa that are available, and most of the time they will decide after, at the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th. But if they don't decide by September 30th, then what they'll do, they'll tell you your decision is on reserve. That's what happened to us with a judge here, Judge John. Um, so, and quite frankly, at this point, we don't even care because we already filed I-130. We're just waiting for I-130 to be approved so we can just go back and let them just terminate removal, because at this point, we defended the case in 2022. It's been 2 years now. Every time we call, they keep saying that the judge has reserved their decision until the visa becomes available, which it's rare. They have the right to do that, but it's rare. Doesn't happen often. Um, but I just figured, you know what? We have I-130 pending. It's gonna get approved anyway, so they can keep their decision, because at this point, if they give us a bad decision, that's bad for us. So they should just keep it so we can get our I-130 approved, so we can just terminate removal. I'm not even bothered by that at this point. But if I have to answer your question, then I'll say, well, it's going to depend. Usually it's only in 30 days you get your response. Sometimes even 2 weeks you get your response. But if it past 30 days, just know that the judge is not going to give you the response until the end of the fiscal year. And if by September 30th you don't get a response, just know that they're going to tell you until the visa becomes available, and they have the right to do that. So it's just going to depend. So there's no um, right or wrong way to do it. Just depend on the judge. Whatever the judge wants, that's what he'll do. He's not required. In other words, he's not required to give you the response ASAP for those type of cases. Can I travel with only travel document? I don't have card. Yeah, if you have been granted asylum, you can only travel with your travel document anyway, because you can't get your passport. So the only thing you can travel with is a travel document, as long as you're not going back to where you claim persecution. Yeah. So can I travel document on? If the judge decides to deny the case, how long it take to decide? If they're going to deny the case, they don't take long. But because they have to write, if they have to write the reasoning as to why they're denying the case, probably in 2 weeks. And remember, it's not really the judge who's writing, right? It's the the clerk, the one that works for the judge. He's the one who's writing those arguments for the judge. But the judge, he's the judge. He tells the person what to write. If it's a denial, it doesn't take that long. It's 2 weeks. They're going to deny. If they deny it, they're going to give you a decision. Yeah, you just give it at least 30 days before you start wondering. Give it at least 30 days. If you don't get it, you can call them too, right? After 30 days, you call them. They'll tell you something. If the judge decides he's not going to give the decision yet, they'll tell you. Will I be? That's I don't know. Shabani Kabura. That nobody knows. Only God. At this point, even green card holders are having problems. That I don't know. I don't know. I cannot get into that. Anybody's telling me I want to travel, that's I'm telling them that's your own decision. I am not giving anybody advice on traveling nowadays. Yeah, that's, to be honest, I don't know. It's been 30. Yeah, just call them. Just call them and say, I'm just checking on the status of my decision. They'll let you know. Sometimes you get somebody who's good. He's going to somebody who's good. They're gonna explain to you when the judge is gonna give you a decision. And if the judge decides to not give the decision until the end of the fiscal year, they're gonna tell you like by September 30th. If the judge is still working on it, they'll tell you too. You just call them. You're not really losing anything. There's no penalty in calling them. Yeah, just call them. At least you have, if somebody's good, they'll give you some type of decision. If you had the lawyer, you can ask your lawyer to call for you, but sometimes the lawyer, they don't want to call because they just wait for the decision. But somebody at the law office can call for you, or yourself, just call and they'll give you some type of answer. At least you will have some type of, and if they don't want to give you an answer too, they'll tell you like, oh, just wait, So if I were you, I'll call, because I myself don't have the patience, right? I'll call to just find out. That's what I did with this other case. I keep calling until they told me they're not giving me the decision until the visa becomes available. Then I left them alone. And at this point, I don't even care anymore. Please, but how much chance I have to get back? The way you look at it, you look at your record. Number one, you cannot go to the country where you claim persecution. Just know that they'll find out. They will check your phone. They'll check your social media. They'll find out if you're really going home in your hometown. They will find out. So number one, you cannot go to the country where you claim persecution. And number two, if you don't have criminal records, then chances are at least you have 60% of chance to come back. But if you end up going to your country, because some people, they will say they will go to it, they will fly to another country, then they take the car to their country because they think that by traveling by car, there's no way to trace me. But guess what? You have friends, friends knows those people, they knows those people, they knows those people, and finally, rumor has it that you were in your hometown. Just know that your asylum is going to be terminated. So that's the only thing you have to keep in mind when you're deciding whether or not I should go. Those two things: criminal records and not traveling to the country where you claim persecution. That way you put yourself in the best position in terms of coming back. But as far as should I go, should I not go? Oh, that's not me. I'm not the one who's going to tell you that. Under this administration, no. You're not gonna get me to say it. Okay. You're welcome. Please like, by the way, Polka Global USA. Please like, please share. Shabani Kabuha, please like, please share. Who else is here? Mohamadu, please like, please share. Sawa Music TV, please like, please share. Sam, please like, please share. Martinez, everybody, please like, please share. We are just here to answer questions. If you have a question, of course, just put it in the comment section so we can answer it. Yeah, if you have a question, just put it in the comment section so we can answer it. Put it in the comment section so we can answer it for you. Okay. Yeah, I guess this is it for today. How much is your consultation? My consultation fee is $200. Let me give you the link. If you need it, you can schedule it. Let me just put the link in the let me put the consultation link in the section. Yeah, Shabani Kabura. The consultation link is right there. So if you need it, you can just schedule it, okay? Can a motion to reopen move to another state in New York if my asylum case was denied in New Jersey? Like, who's moving it? Well, the way you file your motion to reopen is you file it where your case was last heard. Okay? If your case was last heard in New Jersey, that's where you file your motion. If it was last heard at the BIA level, that's where you file your motion to reopen. But if you're filing a joint motion to reopen, you send first the motion to ICE. If they agree to join, then you take, after the sign on it, that's when you send it to where the case was last heard. So the question now is, who's moving it, you know? Thanks for answering. You're welcome. And please like, please share, by the way. You're welcome. Please like, please share. By the way, anybody who needs a consultation, please schedule it, because nowadays people are doing the consultation even when they don't have like a actual pending case. They just want to get advice on how to do the things that they're supposed to do properly. You know, consultation is sometimes it's for you do it because you want to get a second opinion. Sometimes you do it because you have an actual case. Sometimes you do it because you have to take some time, some necessary actions. You have to take some necessary actions, and you do it. So it's not, yeah, that's why we always encourage that if you can do it, it's better to do it so you are properly advised, okay? I just subscribe. Thanks, Braniski. You're welcome. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I guess 15 minutes, almost 1 hour. Yeah, this live session we had to restart it because it was like a mess. But I'm glad. So we are almost done. Yeah, my case was last for the BIA. Yeah, BIA. Okay. Yeah, if you're filing your own motion, then you're gonna send it to BIA. But if you're filing a joint motion, the way it works, you ask ICE first, and once ICE agrees, they sign off on it, then you send it again to the BIA, where the case was last heard, BIA. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. I don't think we have any more news. As I was talking, I didn't see any new news, but anyway, we're just following the news as everybody's following it on. You're welcome. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it, right? We answer all your questions. Please like, please share. If you need a consultation, you can always schedule it. All my consultation links are in the bio. Oh, what's this one? Work permit? No. The pause is for green cards, right? If you're talking about pause, the pause that for asylum, it's for green card, not for work permit. They are not processing green card for asylum at this moment. That's what they said. So I don't know if you has nothing to do with work permit, if I understand the question correctly. Yeah, the answer is no. Yeah, the answer is simply no. You can apply for when you're eligible to apply for your work permit, you can apply for it under asylum. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about pause for work permit. I only hear pause for green cards. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye-bye.